Hey, what's going on, my good people? Yeah, there's an update in the case of Braylen Noble. Now, I know some of y'all are familiar with this case because we covered it over here on this channel. But for those of you who are not familiar with Braylen Noble, I put a link in the description box of the Braylen Noble playlist. You might want to watch those and then come back to this video right here because there's breaking news in the case. Come on, ride with me. On September the 4th, 2020, we were told that Braylen Noble fell out this window right here. And around noonish, Grandma Bobby called 911.
911, where's your emergency?
Yes, we have a missing 3-year-old.
Okay, what's the address?
Autistic nonverbal. 315 Gibraltar Heights. 3415,
I'm sorry, 3415?
3415 Gibraltar
Is there an
Heights.
apartment number?
Yes,
I'm sorry? Your name?
yes.
Your name?
My name is Bobby.
Bobby, is that,
B-I-E Johnson.
Bobby, is she white or black?
Black.
And you said she's non-verbal?
Yes.
How long has she been missing?
It's a he.
Him?
We've been looking for him for over a good 30 minutes.
Okay.
He fell out this window in these apartments.
You think he's hurt?
I'm hoping he's okay, but we don't know where he's at.
Grandma Bobby in this 911 call told us they did not know where Braylen was. Okay? Police showed up, they searching. They out there. Volunteers out there, rain, everything. They out there looking for Braylen. And what was weird to me was the fact that it was a couple things about the 911 call. You know, like I said, I've done videos about it before. So I had issues with that. You know, Grandma didn't know the last name, didn't know what he was wearing, nothing. You know, she was clueless about a lot of details that I feel like she should have known. Okay? And what was odd to me was the fact that Grandma Bobby, after this 911 call, we didn't hear nothing else from her. Nothing. Didn't see her or nothing. But we saw Dejean Cox, his mother. Lights, camera, action.
It's been 4 days since my son has been missing. And I just want whoever to have him, please take him somewhere safe. I know he's scared, and I know he's crying, and he has stomach pains, and he's not eating. He's a picky eater. So if you want to just drop him off somewhere, please drop him off to the police station. You can drop him off here. Call my phone. I know he's crying. I know you can't get him to stop crying. He's being picky. He's not eating. And if he's scared, I won't be mad. Please just drop him off to me. I just want him home. That's it. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry.
Dejean Cox is Braylen's mother. And from the very beginning, nothing about her story made sense to us. There was too many discrepancies. And we was calling it out over here, know that. And we seen police, you know, her taking trips back and forth to the police station. We knew something wasn't right. And we knew police was on her ass. And guess what? We were too. Because nothing about her story made sense. But with that being said, police and volunteers still search day in and day out for Braylen. And I remember at some point, you know, Dejean telling people like, go look at other complexes. And I told y'all, I said it felt like she was trying to send people away from the complex where they lived. Her actions throughout this investigation was real suspect. Know that, okay? And police searched the entire complex, only to find Braylen 5 days later in the pool that they had already searched. In the beginning, they told us that the autopsy showed no anatomic cause of death and no gross evidence of trauma. And at that point, they hadn't ruled out drowning, so we had to wait for information. But when they came back, they told us that the manner of death was ruled undetermined by the Lucas County Coroner's Office. But they did tell us that a contributing cause to Braylen's death was submersion in water. And I'm like, submersion in water? You know, so then why didn't they rule it a drowning? I mean, because he was found in the pool. Only thing I can think of is that even though he was found in the pool, they don't believe he died there. Hmm? I found an article that said that the autopsy report said that there was no physical evidence of trauma, which they did tell us that in the beginning, meaning there was no bruises on the outside of his body. But they said that there was no physical evidence of trauma, including skull fractures or hemorrhaging in the eyes, meaning he wasn't strangled. Okay? So they couldn't figure out how he died, what killed him. But they did tell us that there was evidence of brain swelling and water in both lungs, and his left ventricle was dilated. Hmm? So he had water in his lungs. What that told me was that he was alive before being submerged in some water. And I'm sure they took a sample of that pool water. You know? So was the pool water found in his lungs? I mean, because I would think that if it was, they would have labeled this a drowning. And they didn't. So I'm still wondering why this wasn't labeled a drowning. But then it made me question, okay, well, if we know he was submerged in some water, water where? Hmm? From the apartment, maybe? Tub, maybe? And I'm sure the water from the pool is different from the water from the tub. So it's still a lot of unanswered questions. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, let's say he died in the tub. Okay, let's say he drowned in the tub. It would make sense to put him in another body of water to cover your ass. Hmm? The report also said that his left ventricle was dilated. And the left ventricle is one of the four chambers of the heart. It pumps blood full of oxygen out to the body. Okay? And it says that when the left ventricle is dilated, as a result, the heart muscle becomes weak. And this can lead to fluid building up in the lungs, ankles, abdomen, and other organs of the body. So I was like, so is that how the water got in his lungs? Hmm? Nothing about this case makes sense, and it still don't. But as of today, Dejean Cox, Braylen's mother, and his grandmother are being charged in the death of Braylen Noble.
As far as the indictments go and the charges, that again, that's going to be based on the evidence. All right, I think people are clamoring for more stiffer penalties or stiffer charges. I'm going to tell you, this is what the evidence leads us to: is the charges that Dejean and Bobby were indicted on. All right, and part of the issues are the cause of death are still undetermined from the coroner's office, and again, that's part of the evidence that led us to the charges.
Braylen's mother, Dejean Cox, has been charged with obstructing justice and endangering children. His grandmother is facing a charge of obstructing justice. Now, in the indictment that was filed on Thursday, October the 29th, in Lucas County, it alleged that both of these women provided false information that hindered the investigation. So they was lying. I mean, that's it and that's all. They was lying. It says that Dejean is accused of risking the health or safety of her child in the events that led to his death. So what do y'all think that means? I mean, it keeps taking me back to the whole tub scenario. I'm just saying. So what if this is not a case of murder? Maybe, let's say, neglect. Because if, let's say, he was in the tub, maybe Dejean just wasn't watching him. You know what I'm saying? And then when I found out about the left ventricle being dilated, I'm like, was he having heart problems? Did something go on with him? Because don't forget what the neighbors said. They said that they heard him crying all morning. And then at some point, it got quiet. Something was going on with him, clearly. And maybe it was a situation where Dejean just didn't give him no help. She didn't help him. Hmm? There are still so many unanswered questions. But I think that we will find out more. I think more is going to come out. And me personally, I want to know if there's going to be any more arrests. Because don't forget, the guy said he's seen Dejean coming out the woods with her brother. I'm hoping that they get the information that they need to hold everybody accountable for their part in this. And like I said, there will be more. And we will be here waiting. Know that.
Ask the questions. You can tell me whatever. If you don't want me to ask you questions, I am just going to ask you to say and spell your first and last name, though I do, because I don't want to get that wrong, of course. All right.
Dejean Cox, the mother of Braylen Noble, the toddler who went missing in September of 2020 and was found dead in his apartment complex's pool days later, was indicted on counts of child endangerment and obstruction of justice. The 3-year-old's grandmother, Bonnie Johnson, was also indicted on obstruction of justice charges.
So make the news, nigga, and watch what happens. If you make it over here on this channel, nigga, we on your ass. Okay.